Hi everybody, this is Lynn from Creative Concept Crafts with my latest release, and this is the really pretty, very easy to do little tulip bag. There are two sizes, there's the big one and there's the little mini, and if you look they're both slightly different. The design is slightly different from the larger one to the other one, but the design I've got on both sides of the large one, it's just on one side of the other, and when I flip it round you've got the design on the other side with a plain panel underneath. So there's two ways you can make the bag up, which is either one of those, and we're going to show you now what you need to create the design. We have the main cerise pink panels, which are on two mats. There's the bag back with the handles on one mat, which has been pre-scored. There's the bag front with the funny little piece in the middle. The pale pink, there's three pieces there, are mat 1, and the mat 2 decor I've used silver metallic. Okay, so we've a little bit of pre-scoring to do, and if you look, I've only scored 2 lines of the 3 there. You need to score that third line. That line, the dotted line, goes all the way across, so ignore what I've done there, score it all the way across. Okay, I've just left it dotted there to join up to, but it does actually need to be scored. The same with this panel as well. That should also be scored right the way across on the other side. Okay, so the handle, I've already burnished the score lines there, and there's also a 1/2 inch on either end, which is more a placement line rather than a score line per se. So we're going to start off by just adding glue to 1 or 2 pieces I want to start to dry. So this is just the center panel, and I'm adding it to what will be a score line. So you'll have a better idea where this is going to. It lines up to the other score line anyway, but there is actually a score line there. Please score it at this point. Okay, so all the way across. Just going to flip it over to burnish it into position. And I'm just going to pop that to one side until I deal with the handle. I've already glued one of these up, but both of them are done exactly the same way. Just fold the score lines in, and you'll find that those score lines will meet in the center. So I'm gluing one side, burnish that down. It just takes a minute for my glue to bite, and then repeat exactly the same thing on the other side. Make sure it's all glued all the way, and then again just pop it to one side while you're finishing off gluing other bits. So I'm now going to finish the mat 2 decor onto mat 1. I've already pre-done one of the 2 pieces. So again, I've gone round the edges of the mat on the scoreboard, so I've got the nice bevel edge to line up the mat 2. Flip it onto the wrong side to burnish it down. So that's all ready to go. Now we can start to mat and layer now. So with the mini, the whole thing is cut in one piece. With the larger bag, it's the 2 pieces, but with the mini, it's exactly the same, except you don't have to join those 2 pieces together. Now, there's 2 ways, like I said, that you can decorate this bag. You can either put one decor piece on the front, one on the back, which is what will happen with that one. Or if you put them both on the same side of that bridge, if I call it the bridge, that's what will happen. You'll end up with a panel on each side. So that's like the large bag. This one I'm going to make it up like the small one, so I'm going to put one pattern piece on the front, one piece on the back. So one on either side of the bridge. So I'm just gluing this together and flipping over once it's in position to burnish down. So that's the matting and layering taken care of. we're ready to start to put the bag together. Now you could put decor panels on the other side as well. There's nothing to stop you, so just double up the number of panels of mat 1 except the base panel, so it would be the 2 shaped panels on mat 1 and mat 2 if you want to decorate on both sides. So we're just folding this up. That's why I said I needed to fold that line. I'm having to stop now to fold this line over. So I'm just burnish it into position now. So if you do that at the beginning, then you won't have what I've just had here. So fold the piece to the inside of, so it's just like doing a box. You're just lining up the edge of the fold line to the edge of the bridge piece. Okay, so just line all that up, glue. So that has gone on to the inside. I'm going to repeat the same thing. So the glue on this piece goes to the outside. So it's the right side of the card on the tab that you're gluing. And again, just flip that tab to the inside of the box. You could put it to the outside. It really doesn't make any difference. In which case you'd be gluing to the wrong side, and which I'm actually going to do now with the second pieces. So you can see it's almost like a corner file, you know, paper file that you could buy. And we're going to repeat exactly the same thing now coming in on the other side. Now, if you fold them both inside, that piece is going to go to the wrong side. So I'm folding this on the outside. It doesn't make any difference. If they're both decorated, it really doesn't matter. And it's being covered up with a mat anyway. So this is going, I'm now gluing to the inside, so the wrong side of the card on this piece, and it goes to the outside on the base of the box. So again, just lining up the edges. And then once you're comfortable with that they're in the correct place, just pop it down on the table and then you can get in and burnish that line down. It's actually a really quick and simple box to do. I've used a combination here. This particular one is 220 gram. And the pale pink is 220. The turquoisey one, the big one, and the small one are 180 gram. So it was just the colours that I wanted to use for the bags, and I'm limited to the amount of colours I've got in the 220, so I always use a 180 from another manufacturer here in Spain that do different colours. So it's just to give me a wider variety of colours. Both are sufficient for the bag. Because of the mats and layers, it's a nice strong sturdy box when it's finished. Now it is open on the sides where it's folded up, but just stick in there and I'll tell you what I do to correct it. So that's the box complete, the bag completed. And if you look, that's where I'm showing you that those are still loose. I'm just going to add a little dot of hot glue. You'll see me do it in a couple of minutes once I've added the handle, just to close that up. So it's just firming it up. It doesn't need gluing the whole way. I just put a little dot of hot glue. So now we're ready to add the handles. I've already shaped one. To shape the handle, just pull it down. I'm pulling it under the table with one hand and letting it slide through on the other, so you get a rough shape, and then just sort of round it into a handle shape. Reminds me of an Alice band. We've got our little additional flower there. I'm just going to bring in my Monkey mat to just give it a little bit of shape. I'm going to use a ball tool, just running it down the centre of the petals, and it curves those petals beautifully. I really do wish I could replace this mat. Just give it a whirl in the middle. And that's ready to add once I've got the handles in position. So we're ready to go with the handles now. There's the 1/2 inch, there's a dotted line. Glue up to that dotted line, so it's not actually to bend it, it's just a positional mark for where to glue the handle from. So that's going in. It's about 1 inch from the edge of the bag. Turn the other handle in. It'll want to flip over to the back, but just twist it in, ready for the other side. Add glue to the other 1/2 inch, and that will sit above, right in the middle of the petal on the flower. I'll show you in a second. Can you see it sitting in the centre of that petal that's coming up there? So now I'm just going to add a little glue just towards the top, just to hold that little piece together at the top. You don't have to do it, it's quite sturdy enough, but I'm just adding it just so that the whole thing stays together. And we're ready to finish this off now with the little flower. Oh, we haven't added the other handle yet. Apologies. So I'm just matching this up now. That'll be lining up to the petal, and this side I will add it by eye to the other side, just so it's roughly opposite on the other side of the bag. If you wanted to put a pencil mark in on the wrong side as to where you want to put them, please do. It's about 1 inch in. So that's the bag ready for the additional decoration now. I'm just going to add the flower to the centre of the large flower, and I'm just putting it so that the petals are between the flower that's underneath. I'm going to add a little pearlescent gem in the centre. Like I said, this is a nice, quick and easy project. It takes as long to cut out, or if not longer to cut out, than it does to actually make it. But it's such a pretty bag, such a useful one, and it's quite sizable. You get quite a nice gift inside of that, and I think presentation of a gift is everything. So there's the little one will actually slot inside quite comfortably. And you can see the comparative size there. So there's the 2 bags. Both look totally different because I've got decoration on both sides on one and on each side on the other. Until the next time, bye for now.